Okay, you got your front axle. Check it here.
Yep.
Add it there.
Yep.
Use either 80W90 or Kubota UDT fluid. Kubota UDT fluid.
And if we use the UDT, it's going to be the same as the hydraulic system.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's one place. The next place is your engine oil. Check here with a dipstick. You got high mark, low mark. It holds 8 quarts. You use 1540 diesel grade.
Okay.
Check it there.
Air filter.
Air filter here.
50/50 antifreeze.
50/50 antifreeze.
Oil
Keep
filter.
your battery compartment, your battery good and clean, just like on your car.
Yep.
Engine oil filter. You add your engine oil here. This engine with the filter change takes 8 quarts. This right here is pretty important if you service your fuel filter. And the reason that's red and yellow, we had some off-road on it, and I put on-road on it on the way over here.
Gotcha.
But fuel filter there, on-off petcock there. You'd have to turn that off when you screw that off to change your filter.
Otherwise you get air in the line, right?
Well, you're going to get air in the line anyway, probably. So
and to screw it off, you just turn the glass counterclockwise?
No, you have this ring you got to loosen up and drop down.
Gotcha, okay.
There's a spring in there, and there's a little spring at the bottom. Your book shows you there's a paper filter element. I think some of these books actually said cleaning those, but you can't clean those paper filters. You just replace them.
Right.
Okay. Now, everybody asks me how often to do that. It all depends. If I would put dirty fuel in it this morning, the light will need to be changed
this afternoon.
But keep clean fuel.
You can see it visually through
there.
That's right.
Okay. Now, your dad mentioned air in your lines, purging the air, bleeding the air. This one's real easy. See that bleed plug?
Yep.
All you do is if you run it out of fuel or service your fuel system, get air in your lines. Number one, make sure you got fuel back in the tank. Make sure you got your fuel petcock on. Then what you want to do, you want to reach here with your hands. Don't use a pair of pliers. Screw that out until it stops. Get up on your tractor. I usually crack my throttle about halfway open. Spin the engine over. It may turn a few more revolutions and it may crank and shut off a time or two, but once it'll crank, stay running, idle it back down, take your fingers, don't use pliers, screw that back in and just snug
it. It gets the air out in case you run out of fuel.
Yeah.
And actually the fuel doesn't vent out on the ground, it vents right back to your fuel tank.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you got, your thing says every 10 hours, every pivot point on your loader.
Yep.
These right here, if you ever do take your loader off, you want to cap them with your dust covers. We talked about that a while ago.
Yep.
Your lock for your valve, hydro pedal, forward and reverse. If you've got your foot on that one, it's got to be in the home position or the neutral position before it'll start. This is your hydraulic suction filter here.
Okay, and on the same system, we've got the HST filter on the other side, right?
On the other side, you got about in the same position on the other side. That's your hydrostat filter.
Okay, and it's filtering the same fluid in the same system.
Same fluid, but that filters it before it goes into the transmission.
That's a finer grade filter to make sure you got cleaner fluid.
Yep.
Okay, now we talked about your drain plugs under your belly. One big drain plug, 2 on your final drives.
Okay, so let's see, the big one here is the
main drain plug for your transmission and differential and hydraulics.
Okay, and then we got 2 for the
2
oil pan.
Engine oil filters. I mean, not filters, engine oil plugs.
Okay, and there was
does that thing, it don't audio video, does it?
It does, yeah.
Okay, I want to tell you all this. Kubota's torque these down to specs, and Brian checks them. But after you use this loader for about 20 or 30 hours, 10, 15 hours, whatever, depending on how hard you check those bolts. Now Kubota put this one together. At our shop, when we put them on, we always use that thread locker, that Loctite, red Loctite. But Kubota has torqued those down. But the most important ones are any of the bolts that go into the housings. You need to double check those, because if they get loose and you keep running it, you'll waller the darn threads out and have to get it rethreaded or heliocoiled.
Okay, that includes these here too?
Sure. Yeah. The main one, and the same way on your wheel bolts or your lug bolts. Check your lug bolts after about 20 hours.
Okay, so for the tractor, the manual's got, I mean, it tells you how much torque these down.
No, you just tighten them up as tight as you can get it with a wrench.
Okay. All right.
I mean, it might,
For
but
you,
I mean,
it's pretty tight.
Pretty tight. Okay.
For Jeff, it's moderately tight.
Now, here's
Really?
one here. Might get your camera to where you can see that sight glass. And you can actually see the oil level in it.
Okay, so this is hydraulic fluid.
That's your transmission hydraulic. It serves as a reservoir for your hydraulics.
Okay, and we just look at this visually. It should
That's
be at
right.
least half full.
Yeah.
Okay, we add it here.
And that, when to check that, you need to check it on, a somewhat level ground.
Yep. Okay, and let's see, grease points.
Grease points, of course, we've got them on your top link. Side link adjuster. I did not see any. I'm not the service guy. I'm in the book to show you.
On here.
I did not see any on your pivot points on your front. Up in there. But you got your main front axle pivot. It's on the other side, I do believe, Mike. You got one on this side, though, up front.
And on that side, we got okay, one right there. And let's see, you saw another one you can see from here?
Yeah, up front. See if there's one up front.
Up front, right here.
Yeah.
Okay, just on that side, not on the other side, right? Yeah, yeah, only on that side. Yeah, we have on each side right here.
Oh, and something important too. I'm going to go ahead and close the hood. Oh, you check your belt here. Keep your radiator good and blown out. Don't put a pressure. You could actually, you've got a screen on this one also.
Yep.
Removable screen. But if you got the screen out, don't put a high pressure.
Oh yeah, that'll bend
Right
them.
into
Yeah.
the radiator. Now I'm going to let the hood down. Don't do like I did one time and leave this lay down. When I let the hood down, I knocked the man's front grill off before you got to use
Ouch.
it. So I'm going to let the hood down. I want to make sure it's up. And then you're going to, of course, you don't want to leave it parked really.
Another
There's
grease
no
point
reason to
there.
leave it parked up there like that.
Yep.
I'm going to crank it up. Now, the safety feet, you got seat belts if you're already on it. So, you wear your seat belts.
Yep.
Okay. Then to crank it, you've got to have your PTO over here disengaged. And you can't have your foot on the hybrid pedal. You got to have your clutch in. When you turn your lights on up here, you got your charge light and your oil pressure light. Okay, in cold weather, or if you hadn't cranked it for a while, you might want to heat it. You turn your switch back to the heat position, which is back to the left,
Yep.
until you see your orange light. Just hold it there. I usually count to about 15 in cold weather. Then I could usually crank them at idle. Then you got your clutch in. Your light will go on.
Still not heating the plugs.
Yeah, the generator does that.
I normally, when you get off the track, you want to have your loading like that. That serves as a carpet brake plus a bunch of water.
Good idea.
Before you turn it off, stand up. Let's see if the safety works on the seat.
Wheel it out if I do this. When we move that, we might have screwed the safety switch up. Hold on. I've got it.
Alright. Okay, so it only shuts off if you're moving.
It won't cut off. It'll just get off. I'm surprised, but it won't. For example, I'm going to turn that